Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those who are not familiar of who I go by One Cheap Compadre, and you're watching Cheap Compadre TV, where on my channel we talk about savings, investing, politics, and sometimes, if we get a chance, story time. Well, this has been one interesting week, huh? With this election. 1 minute it's one way, and then the next day it's another. But I'm here to tell you, karma is something, I tell you. You know, I remember when this president at the time got on the previous president for not being an actual citizen of the United States, and he wanted the previous president to show his birth certificate, which he did. And then this president was to show his taxes, which he never did. And then this president said that the previous president would be a one-term president. And the way it's looking right now, it looks like he may just be a one-term president. Go figure, huh? See how things just work? That's why it goes to show that you don't have to attack your enemies with revenge. You just have to just let things just work itself out, huh? So, on top of that, this president tried to get rid of the Affordable Care Act 60 times, which all 60 times he failed. Then on top of that, he defunds the Affordable Care Act, where things are becoming more expensive for patients, which he doesn't want to take responsibility for that, but yet he wants to defund it and try to get rid of it. Yet he doesn't have an actual plan in replace of it, which is hypocritical. Don't you agree? So now we have Biden with 264, and we have Donald Trump with 214. And he's talking about we need to stop the vote. But if we was to stop the vote right now, you will be losing. Last couple of days, if you would have stopped the vote, you would have been losing. Only in the beginning of the counts, November 3rd, you were actually up. And then the rest of the days, you were down. So, in actuality, it doesn't make sense to stop counting now. Actually, you want them to continue because maybe you may have a shot. But as we started to realize that that's far between, and it seems like it's not attainable. So, right now, instead of embarrassing yourself like you've been doing for, almost 4 years in this country, at least do something right, which I doubt you will, but succeed and just let this man get into office and actually allow him to clean up your mess and make this country actually become great again. But in a way that we move forward instead of backwards, because all I'm hearing is people talk about socialism, communism. Do you know that communism, socialism happened in the 1920s and 50s? This is 2020. Even back then, the government was never overthrown. That happened in Russia, not here in America. Now, we had incidents where people were putting bombs in mailbox, supposedly, right? And we had McCarthyism, who was picking and choosing people who he considered in Hollywood and other government jobs that were considered communists. But my question is, do people actually know what communism and socialism actually means? Because the only thing that may be close to socialism is the Affordable Care Act, but the Affordable Care Act is a right, not a privilege. everyone should be able to have affordable health care, because before the Affordable Care Act was even implemented, people were filing for bankruptcy. I don't know if you remember, because it seemed like people just forgot. People just focus on how much the Affordable Care Act costs. But when's the last time you heard somebody actually say that they had to sell their home or file for bankruptcy because of their medical bills? You don't hear that. What you hear is expensive, but you don't hear anybody talking about they had to file for bankruptcy. Now, that's what they were doing before the Affordable Care Act was implemented. So, I mean, you guys need to do your research if you forgot. I know I haven't, because at the time, and it's not like it is now with the Affordable Care Act, where you can stay on your parents' insurance until you're 25, 26. But back then, after I believe 22, 23, they would cut you off. And at the time, I was in college, so you had to work full-time and go to school full-time, because the reason you had to work full-time is because you can get benefits that way. You had to work 40 hours. Unlike now, if you get your little part-time, if you go to college, you can focus more on your studies. Okay? So back then, it was very difficult, very challenging to try to juggle both at the same time. So that's why when I hear people talk about Affordable Care Act is expensive, the co-pays are expensive. It's not that expensive than being on Chapter 11, filing for bankruptcy. It's not that expensive. So for those the naysayers who say Affordable Care Act needs to go, I have to beg to differ and say that, first of all, there needs to be a plan if you want to replace it. But how can you replace something that's only been around for 7 to 8 years? It hasn't been around for that long. You act like it's been around for 100 years. If you get more people on it, it'll start bringing the prices down. That's what the mandate was for, to force people on there, just like car insurance. Everyone have a mandate to have it, or you have to lose your car insurance along with your registration if you don't have car insurance. So it's the same thing. More people on it, the more it becomes cheaper, because then people are competing for your business. So that forced corporations, businesses to lower the price, which was a good thing. Just like now, it's a good thing, but this guy decided to take away the mandate, and on top of that, defund the Affordable Care Act. All right, no one's talking about that, but all they have to say is that it's expensive. So right now, we have 264 for Biden, and all he needs is just 270. And then we have Donald Trump with 214, which he's trying to stop the vote, which isn't legal at all. And he's trying to get lawyers to pretty much go his own way, where he can stop the counts and declare victory, which he should have never did in the beginning in the first place, because majority of the election he was losing. So actually you want them to continue counting, even though right now it looks like he's not going to win, because Pennsylvania is changing to blue, Georgia is changing to blue, and it looks like Nevada is changing to blue. So even just one out of those three, he will win. So it seems like he's just stalling, but eventually everyone is going to get fed up, and that's when things are going to change, because if it goes to the Supreme Court, and hopefully it doesn't, people need to pretty much accuse themselves so they don't have to get involved with this mess, because that's what it is, this mess. It's not legal. It's nothing fraudulent about the electoral process, okay? It's pretty much fair and square. Pretty much people been sending off absentees even before this election, so that's nothing new. All right, we're going through a pandemic, and people can vote in person. They can drop their ballots off in person, or they can mail it off. So everything is legitimate, everything's on the up and up. So what do you guys think? Do you think that this president number 45 have a legitimate claim in taking this to the Supreme Court, or this is just something that he's trying to do in order to sabotage the election? Because we all know that this is not going to go in his favor. If it does, then we already know that democracy is not actual democracy. It's just put in place for those to sell, while others are pretty much are not able to have and reap the same rewards. So put your comment down below. Make sure to crush the like button. And until then, have a great day.